Reggie, what was your favorite thing from the episode?
My favorite thing was that we pulled the topic that was perfect for our guest.
Ooh, okay.
And my favorite thing was what our guest said in the very end of the episode. It was powerful.
Lauren, you're getting some love.
I'm also gonna send Lauren some love. I really liked her perspective this week.
Ooh.
My favorite thing was when Tim was cynical the whole episode, but then brought it back to hope at the end.
That's just how it goes.
I liked our Black Mirror references and how they're correlating with real life right now. Cool.
Vigor.
It was a good
That was
clack.
a vigorous clack. I love clacks like that. Will is the best clacker. He really is.
Do you all take turns clacking?
No, Will is the master.
Will is the
He's the
clacker.
master clacker. 100%.
Someone's got to do it.
Well, hey guys, welcome to Age. I am your host today, and we have a wonderful guest, Miss Lauren Moody, who's sitting in for our beloved Mary Greene, who is on her way to Japan.
Miss you, Mary.
Yeah, I'm envious. We should all be in Japan with her, recording from there.
Why didn't we think of that?
I know, right?
You've got a couple of weeks to make
I
it
know,
happen.
right? We do.
Just surprise Mary on her
Act
time
fast.
off.
Yeah, right?
We're
Oh,
here.
that would be the best surprise. You're like, you thought you were off the hook for recording this episode, but you're on.
I think she'd kind of love it.
She might. I'm Reggie Tidwell, Dylan Garcia, Tim Scroggs, and of course, Lauren Moody. As you know, we pull a topic from this really just regal trash can. And I'm going to go ahead and get started and kick us off.
Boom. Here it goes.
I'm hoping for a good one. I'm hoping for a good one. Ooh, what?
Brad.
This is a perfect one, especially given the host that we have.
Oh, God.
You're going to be on the spot.
It's social media.
Oh.
Was I right or was I right?
And that wasn't staged at all.
Not even a little bit.
Goodness.
Every single one in there doesn't say social
not
media.
even a
That
little
proves
bit.
that pulling out of the trash can is like a destiny move.
It is.
You know,
right?
like you pull it out, you don't know who and why,
know.
but it's going to be right.
That is so perfect. And we had
Okay.
another guest, and the host pulled remote that day, and I thought it really played well into the conversation.
Yeah.
because of that host.
Okay, there's
And it
something
should
going
Here from
on
New York.
here.
Yeah, it's I told you,
A
don't mess around with this.
magical
This is magic.
Trash can.
Yeah, it's the
And it's
magic
perfect
trash
because
can.
Lauren does social
It's
media
been blessed.
and social marketing for a very cool company in Asheville, North Carolina called Cultivate Climbing.
Yes, where Tim and
So
I work
that-
out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, it's in our building where we have our studio, and it just so happens that we pulled it out of the trash can with Lauren here.
Exactly.
Who would've
It's
thought?
Perfect. Who would have thought? So yeah, I work for a Cultivate Management Group.
Oh yeah, right.
I know it's a little bit of nuance. So Cultivate Management Group, Cultivate Climbing is one of the brands of Cultivate Management Group. We also have a rafting company in Asheville,
Oh, that's awesome.
Asheville Adventure Company.
We need to do that Sunday. We need a
Yes.
10-day out on the water.
Is the river clean after our flood? I don't know what the.
It's clean
States.
enough.
Okay,
I-
clean enough.
I shouldn't say that. Cut that out. It's clean.
Cut that out. Ooh.
It's clean and it's ready for you to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, clean enough's good for me.
Ready for you to cultivate.
I've
I mean, you're not
been-
going down with your mouth open.
Yeah.
No, you actually
I've been
are.
in the river and I've lived to tell the tale. So get out there. And we
cool.
also, if you ever want to take a team trip to Colorado, we've got a rafting company in Colorado too.
One of the few states I have left to visit
Colorado?
to color in my map.
That's
Colorado, Wyoming. There's a few the big states up
crazy.
there.
I feel like Colorado is knocked off the books usually pretty
It's a
quickly.
power
know.
state.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have family that lives there. I went
So
there
I've
and I
been to
didn't know.
Wyoming. I went to Jackson Hole. But
Amazing place.
yes, it's
Namesake
so
of my
awesome.
brother.
You know what's really funny? Your brother's name's Jackson?
Yeah, for Jackson
I'm glad
Hole.
it's not Hole.
I was wondering if it's a.
Oh, well,
Middle
my
name?
my
Paul.
parents always joke, or I think it was actually serious. My dad wanted his middle name to be Wyoming,
Oh, really?
but
Cool name, actually.
wasn't
would be.
allowed. Yeah.
Interesting story. When I was out there, I was with Mike, one of my good buddies and neighbor. His wife's grandfather is the guy on the license plate. There's like a cowboy on the Wyoming license plate. Yeah, so her family is like multiple generations
Wyoming
settlers.
cowboy.
Like he helped settle the state. And so they have a house. They were grandfathered in to be in where the Tetons are in Grand Teton National Park. So their house, the living room has a picture window that has a perfectly framed view of the Tetons. It was crazy. I got some
Yeah.
crazy photos.
It's
while
an
I was out there.
insane place. It's super special.
Really, it really is. I saw a grizzly out there. But anyway, social media. What
Anyways.
drives you crazy about it? What's your first thought about it?
Social media is a very complex topic in my mind because I work in it. Yeah. I work in different places in marketing, but social media is kind of my stronghold, and social strategy, in particular, brand voice through social media is kind of my particular interest. And at the same time, a lot of things about social media really scare me.
Oh, let's dig
And
into that.
I have a lot of complex feelings about social media. I think it's done a lot of really beautiful things for us and will continue to do a lot of really beautiful things for us. And it's also radically shaped the way we live in so many different aspects to the point that I don't know.
Like a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. It absolutely is a double-edged sword. And I think it's so important for how businesses do work and do marketing today. And it's just kind of figuring out how to leverage it within ourselves to set boundaries around it. But then at the same time, it's like the algorithm is built to break those boundaries.
Yeah.
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 Don't get me
Don't
started.
get him started.
I'm getting you
wind-
started.
The last
Just wind
episode we
him up.
recorded,
Yeah.
I was all wound up. What was it about?
About
It
the
was
algorithm?
Something about the algorithm. Vlogs.
It was
Yes,
about
blogs.
It was similar in that well, you said it's in a way the way we work in business.
Yeah.
I would say it's a forced thing.
Tell
like
me more
it's,
about that.
social media started with this like sharing of personal life. That was the thing. Well, I think Facebook started with judging people's faces.
That is
had a
that is
better
actually
face.
how it started.
So that's not great. But at some point, I remember my wife sharing pictures of our son,
Yeah.
and it was like sharing it with friends. It was
sweet.
very close.
Yeah.
And it was like sharing a photo album or a digital way of sharing the pictures you're taking, your life.
Right.
And now it is this forced mechanism of marketing. And like we're trying to do this podcast, in all honesty, out of a need to market and create content. That's everyone's requirement. If you own a business, you got to create content. And it is so much work to do this.
Yeah, it is.
And to require every company, to require every company to have to do this, that just seems crazy to me.
Are you calling this forced? What you're doing
No.
right here, right now?
It is a little bit forced, yeah. Because, Reggie and I were in Asheville where there was the big hurricane, as you were here as well.
As I was too.
And Cultivate Climbing had to go through it as well. And after that, we had some support to help us rebuild what we had lost.
Yeah.
And in that support, we're like, how do we build our company? How do we market? And so we went through all the options, traditional marketing, what they have now called growth specialists. We went through all of them. And the consistent thing kept coming back. You got to create content.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're like, fine, we have to create content. So we're going to do it our way, and we're going to make it feel like us. It's not going to be overly polished. It's not going to be the thing that marketing or that social marketing usually is. But still, it requires a lot of us as a team to put this on, to record it, to edit it, to post it, to share it. And so it's like half of our job is just creating content.
Yeah.
And not even doing the work we do.
Not even doing the work.
Yeah. It's like
You think half of your
We're a content
hours are
creation
spent
company for
creating
ourselves.
content?
It is so, well, I guess.
Tim's
not-
personal hours.
My personal hours,
Okay.
maybe more than half. But I think if Mary puts in a lot of time.
Yeah.
Dylan is putting in some time.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So,
And maybe too much.
well, it's when you have a small company, and this is the
Yeah.
thing, most small companies are also forced to share content.
It's true.
And I've actually bucked the system. Like I don't have a Facebook and I don't have an Instagram. I've actually never been on Instagram myself with my own account. And
Yeah, I always send him links. and
I've
he
never
just-
downloaded TikTok.
Purist.
I have no
Amongst
desire,
us,
and I have no capacity
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that
It can suck you in, that's for sure.
It really
it's
can.
just like I have 3
designed
kids.
to.
I don't have
Yeah.
time to learn about what 1 billion people are
Yeah, I think I want
Right.
to get back into this idea of it being forced. And almost, I don't know if I want to change your mind,
doing. No,
but I maybe want to change your mind.
I know,
about
right?
it.
I like wish that he was, sending, "Oh, man, check this thing out I saw on Instagram.
Heck
Like,
no.
we do this.
It's all
it's
nonsense.
one way. Like,
It's all
I send you some
nonsense.
cool things on there, though.
how do you even know it's true? That's the thing. Is most of this garbage is made up. It's all fronts.
Some of it is, but I got a pretty good bullshit detector.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you've been on it for long enough, you actually start to understand what's AI
I wouldn't
generated.
say most people do though.
What's,
They're like,
yeah,
"Look at
I don't
this-
think most
this
people do.
baby bear cub.
I
getting
know.
in the car and driving. You're like, that is AI.
Yeah, it's
No,
That's not real.
It is crazy what people are thinking is actually real,
Yeah.
and is not. It's definitely AI.
is.
And I think
Pretty
that
insane.
every movie where there's a dystopian culture, it has to do with media being
Taken
falsified.
over. Yeah, falsified.
Watch every futuristic movie where there's like some kind of regime or oppression.
Yeah.
It has something to do with
They use
media
some kind of
comms being
fake
controlled.
media to like control them.
Yeah. And who controls social media? The algorithms, what's shown,
Yeah.
what's not shown.
Billionaires.
What's pushed to create war and strife, what's pushed to create communities or niches that movements,
Yeah.
stylistic fashion,
I
like
think-
all of that is owned by these
I think
billionaires.
that's what gets me hot about social media is that. So for one, Facebook. I used to use Facebook more for business when it was just me, when I was a solopreneur, and I was mainly to promote my photography stuff. I post videos and photography, and then it kind of kept me fresh in people's mind. When someone thinks I'm going to hire a high-end photographer, oh, Reggie, because I'm constantly putting out
Always
content. Now it's really just like social. It's just like personal, social. I'm not really doing any business stuff with it. Instagram, I used to do the same thing with Instagram. I really curated feed of just beautiful landscape images, and that's it. I did learn a long time ago is when I had like portraits and landscape and all kinds of other things, you don't really get good traction because people want to come, like if they see one of your landscapes and that's the thing that brings them to your feed, they want to see more of that. When they come there and there's a picture of your cat and your family in the backyard, they're just like, this isn't what I want. So when I curated it, where it was just all beautiful, high touch, like high-end landscape shots, my following shot up a lot. So I'm like, all right, this is what I have to do. The thing that gets me hot about it is that now it really is just an echo chamber. Politically, so whatever it is that you like, they just continue to feed you more of the exact same thing. So what I'm seeing a lot of is people that have very skewed political beliefs, it just constantly gets reinforced. They don't get to see any opposing views
Yeah.
from any credible content creators that will help shift their mind and give them food for thought. They just keep getting fed the same exact notions. And so because of that, they stay in this like stuck place. And it's unfortunate. you
Yeah, we
know?
think it's bringing us together, but I think it's actually doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Not only is it's doing the opposite in a worse way, because when you think you're close to somebody, but you're actually further from them,
Yeah.
and you don't even know you're further from them, you
even
don't know you're
further from them
siloed,
until you-
that is even worse than actually being distant from someone and knowing and feeling the distance.
Yeah,
Yes.
because then you can at least work on it effectively.
wrestle
and
with
like,
that feeling.
yeah. But when you don't actually know and you have this false sense of security that your relationship or your closeness is actually a thing.
Yeah. I think I agree with all of that on a macro scale, but I maybe want to bring it back to what about social media for small businesses?
Yeah, no.
Because I think like that's what I wanted to come to with it being forced, is I was interested in that framing of it, because it's maybe in this marketing world we live in now, content is king, or content's kind of the game you have to play. But what is content? I guess why does that feel like a big task to create content? Because if we all are naturally creators, it's like we're just kind of, I think social media can be a tool for displaying those creations to people that are trying to find you or people that may be in alignment. So it's like all of you're saying of the political aspects, yes, absolutely. And I think we could probably spend 5 podcasts talking about how social media has influenced us in those ways. And it's the thing I wrestle with is I'm like, social media, at least for now, is here to stay.
Why do you think we're doing this?
Yeah.
It's not
How many years did it take me to realize that?
It's not going anywhere. No. And so how can we have conversations of how can we interact with social media in a way that's in alignment with us and what we're trying to do?
You know, I'm pretty sure it's not too far off. And if somebody takes this idea and makes $1 billion with it, I want in. But before you know it, there's going to be a little orb that is like a little drone that just follows you around and captures little moments of your life and creates these edits for you to review at the end of the day. And you get to choose what content you wanted to post. But I know that's going to happen. Eventually, you're going to have your little like personal thing following you around. Oh, we did something cool. And so I'm going to log this timestamp. And then you'll have these little cuts at the end of the day.
I think
those Ray-Ban glasses.
I think that's how it's going to be sold, but it's going to be tracking you of what you're doing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's literally the government
looking at you. And as soon as you do something sketchy, it's going to be like, hey, government.
They made a movie about this. They made that movie with Chris Pratt where like artificial intelligence, like.
Oh yeah, it's the one where he was like guilty. Yeah, I started that and never finished it, so no spoilers.
Hey, well, it's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But how does, but that works. This idea works. It's like, follow you around and it shows you your life, capture your life.
Yeah.
But who's thinking in the background? How could we use this?
Oh yeah.
How could we weaponize this? How could we control through this? So here's what I'm saying about small businesses. They even have less capacity to do other work. So small 100%. Businesses are pushed to the max in their what they have to do for their business. Mm-hmm. So now they also have to be creators and create content that does well on the market. So we're not talking like, just show us whatever you do. Share your heart with the world.
We just need the orb.
Do your thing. It's not that, it's like perform, do the part, hit the right points, do the right, whatever the thumbnail, you're literally doing someone's business. It's like everyone has to learn how to sing music. Yeah. And now for marketing, you have to sing and write a song every day. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to require everyone to do to succeed. Yeah. You can't just be good at your work anymore. Mm-hmm. You have to be actually nonstop pounding this platform.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
I'd like to believe there's somewhere in between that.
No, I'm an extremist.
Yeah, it's funny because you're on one end and he's on the other, and I want to see where's the middle ground.
Where can we?
It's right.
Dylan might be the middle ground.
I'm like, come sit over here, right here.
Come sit right between us.
I would say Dylan is one of the reasons I've developed a love for social media because the way she shares.
I wouldn't call it love.
No, but
less. It's not loathing.
It's like somebody walking past an art museum and he's like, "Oh, that's okay."
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't hate it.
He no longer loathes it.
He's like this.
So not quite to love. He's somewhere between loathing and loving.
No, because I think Dylan, from the way she talks about it, it feels like what you're saying. Like it's coming out of a more natural place. Yeah. And it isn't forced, and she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder about it.
And the way she uses it, I think, is really refreshing. Yeah. I love your photo dumps. Those are like so cool because it gives me this whole snapshot of your life outside of the studio. And so I'm like, oh, that's what she's up to. Yeah.
Yeah, I say we. I like making like little digital archives of the month. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's been growing each month now that I'm like, all right, let me think about it. But I like portraying my life that way. It's like in these little snapshots of like what has been going on, and it feels more candid to me instead of like getting ready to curate from one moment. It's like the month, and it's like a little recap. And I like when I get really bored sometimes I go back and I'm like, what was I doing in January? And I look. So it's like a cool little digital archive for me.
I just noticed it. Oh, so you're using it the way it originally started. Like you're actually sharing moments of your life. Yeah. And I appreciate that window into your life. Like it feels refreshing to see these parts of your life that I don't know.
Same.
Now imagine being forced to do it as your business. Like you're an athlete. Dylan is an athlete. But imagine you're now a pro athlete and your social feed is like your success is wrapped up in your social feed.
Yeah.
Who you're posting
having
about, what partners you
constantly-
have, brands,
Yeah.
what you're saying, who you support, what you don't support.
Yeah.
And the consequences of all those decisions are your success.
Yeah.
Now that's social media, not the way you're using, which I love, but the other aspects of it. We were recently talking with a good friend who is high up in the ranks of brand. And he said that the consequences of social media are so intense right now that you're starting to see a mass exodus from social media. People are starting to leave platforms of thousands to enter little tiny micro communities
Like
where
Substack.
there are Substack, Discord,
Yeah.
there's the big one. Anyway, and they're creating these little communities of like 10 or 15 people. And social media
shift in the
influencers
landscape.
can't get into those groups. So companies are trying to figure out how are they going to reach people when they've gone off and created their own little groups where you can trust the people that are in it.
Right.
You can actually develop close relationships instead of this mass communications platform that is now a little bit unruly in how you get your things shown. Like they're always changing the formula.
Right.
I guess my question is small businesses have always had to market.
No, you just put a Yellow Page ad out.
Genuinely?
I remember
Like
the
marketing
old-
used to not
I remember.
be
Yeah, you're not
important.
old enough to remember that.
I know. Yeah.
There was a day where if you wanted to
to
start an insurance agency, let's just go to like a normal business.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a creative
Something
business.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would just, and I know this from personal experience because my wife's family have had a couple insurance agencies and her uncle talked me through his process. So he moved to Asheville. He wanted to start an insurance agency. He took an ad out in the Yellow Pages and it was a business. It literally became a business.
Yeah.
He got calls. He was successful. He had this long career.
What was
That
between-
doesn't exist now.
And you also have word of mouth. So I think between Yellow Page ads,
Yeah, because they weren't
word of
all in
mouth-
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was this.
So
yeah,
what was
generative
between
system.
word of mouth and social media? What was the?
I mean, I think word of
Platform.
mouth is still quite relevant.
No.
I mean, no, it's
No.
dying.
Not for
No, just because everybody is getting most of what they believe in from social media.
No, it's not only that. It is kind of that, but it's that there's so much content coming in on a daily basis, and with COVID, people were pushed into their devices so hard
Yeah.
that we lost our daily word of mouth connection.
Word of
So
mouth?
we weren't our word of mouth, word of wow.
Word of wow.
We used to have a habit of being with people, of sharing what we know.
Yeah.
Now we all know what we know because we're all looking at the same feed. So no one really talks about what they know anymore because remember that era where it was like, did you see that thing? Oh, yeah, I already saw it. Oh,
Yeah, right.
did you see that? I
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
saw it already. I saw it.
Well,
saw
I
it.
guess we have nothing to
People
talk
are
about.
sending you things, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw this already.
And so when someone goes to like, so who did you use for your social media? And they're like, and then they just think of a name that comes from the feed.
I will say this though, word of mouth is now word of media because
Yeah.
I saw a friend post it the other day, who's the best Thai massage therapist in town? And all the people were like chiming in, and one of my friends' name, who I threw in the hat as well, came up a bunch of times, and I was like,
people
this is
still value actual
great.
people's
So that's kind of word. That's
Definitely.
like the new word of mouth.
I'm not saying that people won't, and I think it will break down back to word of mouth.
Yeah.
I think once people start not trusting, there's a lot of predictions about what amount of trust people will have in social media in the next 24 months
Totally.
because of the AI generative stuff.
Yes.
So I think it will come back, and I only know this from personal experience because our company died because of this transition into strong digital only
I
environment.
think that's why he had such a chip on his shoulder.
Such a
No, I had it before this. I was in a band and I had to be on MySpace. Back?
Too much thought. We are back.
we're back.
We're back.
And we're back. We had a little.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So MySpace. I mean, guys.
Guys,
talking
what
about
about
MySpace.
MySpace?
I was just saying goodbye to Tom. Remember Tom used to be the one profile that
Oh
everyone had on
yeah. Everybody had.
every account had Tom.
had to.
I was
like,
thinking
you
it
had to
was
be one of your
Dave, but
It was Tom.
No, it was Tom.
I believe.
Dave
And he was a really normal looking dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Dave was
normal in the
um,
sense he was
the
a white guy
dog-
with brown
the
hair.
dog. What was the show? The Blues Clues. Wasn't that Dave?
no.
No, that's Steve. Oh, sorry.
Will knows
I thought that's maybe who you were thinking about.
No, I don't know why. I can like see the picture you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a
on
picture of him,
MySpace.
Tom. Yeah.
I think to me, and I'm trying to remember why I got burned down on it with the band.
Because
I
Tom
think
never
that it
wrote
was
you back.
it's this a performance that you're being forced to play.
Yeah.
In the old, I was there before social media, so I know what it was like before. Did you know what it was like before? Oh, I don't even know how old you are. You don't have to say if you don't want to.
I can say, well, because I wanted to ask Dylan as well. I know how old Dylan is, but I was going to ask how her age has played into it. I'm 27.
Right.
And so I think I remember Instagram becoming a thing at some point in middle school.
Okay.
And so I had a childhood without social media and was like very
Which every child
not-
should have.
Yes, but that's very not the
Still.
case these days.
I know.
No.
And I was going to
You think
ask,
children are allowed on social media, generally speaking?
I would say
Because I know it's not the advice of.
Generally speaking, not even social media, but like on media.
Right.
Like
Digital
have
devices.
iPads and
Yeah.
whatever, like TikTok, games, where I had a laptop really young, which was like, my mom and dad will watch this, and I don't know. We can talk about that, mom
Would
and
you
dad.
think it was a bad thing?
I think I had access to too much information when I was
That's my
young.
whole point. I think social media
Yeah.
is that in a nutshell. I think
For
that's
sure.
the problem. Too much
Yeah.
information.
It desensitizes
Well,
people to life
Desensitizes.
because they're just
It's
constantly living
too
through
much
screens.
information and it's short form content.
Yeah.
So it's like I was reading like Wikipedia pages, which is a little bit different than like watching 6-second TikToks. Like I think that is far worse for brain development, whereas like I was actually educating myself to some degree, but also like developing really irrational fears because I had too much access to information.
Oh man, I think that's a big part of it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because you're always bringing me this bullshit from social media. Like, look what's happening. He shows me the video. I'm like, what the hell? This
like,
world's
no.
falling apart. And you know what happens? The world just keeps going on.
where it keeps going.
It's a clickbait thing. It's like
Yeah.
all of the you can trace what's going to happen with social media or anything by an incentive.
Yeah.
If you can lock in what the incentive is, then you can trace what the action's going to be.
Yeah.
If the incentive is for clicks,
yeah.
then you're going to get things
Fear.
that give clicks.
Fear gets
You're not going to
clicks.
get normal stuff because
Yeah.
that doesn't get clicks.
What do you think about a lot of people use social media for news these days?
That's even.
That's unfortunate. I think.
I mean, I
My
don't want to.
generation does. I
For
will
sure.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm. How would you feel about it? Because I don't think it's bad at that level.
I
think it depends on who you're following,
think
and what
there's.
their motivations.
I don't
are.
think social media is the only people that are like berating us with information all the time. I feel like the news is like that's the news's job is to keep you informed about everything that's going on. So I feel like you got to pick your poison, which whatever.
That's true.
For me, it's like if I'm going to get my news from social media, I can at least swipe away if I'm not interested, or if I'm irrationally like, or if I have fear about it, like I'm going to swipe away. But that's kind of.
I also think.
Way. It's an interesting concept. You could just get rid of it.
I think, I kind of take back my initial reaction to that comment because I think maybe social media might be a better source depending on who you're following because there are certain people out there. I mean, to your point, Tim, like you never know what's like real, but I follow, at least politically, there's like a few accounts that I follow and trust because the people actually are out on the front lines, bringing back stories from what they're seeing. They're in the courtrooms. They are actually delivering information. And I cross-check that information across those other accounts with the same people that are, what's their take? What was their, like, what was their perception of the same thing that happened? I actually think that the news might be probably not the best source for news these days because a lot of these, you think about Fox News and you think about, the big news stations or news houses, they are all politically motivated because the people that
they're
own
financially
them,
motivated.
that's what I mean.
That's not politically. Politics only influences finances.
They're financially motivated to be politically biased.
Now it's the right order.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. News started out as a public service.
Yes.
Channels that were creating media for media's sake, for people who, and this actually came up with vlogs. I am not opposed to someone who is a creator and wants to create content, creating content. At all.
Right.
Like I think the platform should only be creators who their heart is to create content.
This is what they want to do.
I just don't want everyone to be forced to create content as a way of survival. So what I'm saying about this
mom and pop shop.
there used to be media and entertainment channels that used to have to post a public service news segment. They know how I feel about segments.
We talked
In
about
trying to design
our show a segment, and he always
and now the dance segment, and now the Reggie segment.
Okay.
We hid the segments. We called them something else. Whatever.
Secret segments.
They actually did this public service, and they would just do the daily news.
Yeah.
And it was this little short thing where you would tell what happened here and what happened there, just to spread the word. And then they started realizing the possibilities. And then Turner, I think it was Turner that started doing the 24-hour news cycle. That never existed. And it never prevented humans from having a good life. It wasn't like, that solves everything. Now humans are so much better for it.
Yeah.
It literally is money. It's all about the money. So when you have
life, sadly, are about money.
Well, I was gonna say,
unfortunate, but
let's
that's
get even more.
No, it wasn't. You go back to
overarching.
ancient times when the native people of the American continent, they weren't like about the money. There was no money.
Okay, but how did we get here though?
Yeah, let's go through that.
How did we get to this?
Years of white oppression and colonization.
Yeah, 100%.
Money. How do you
I
think
know,
like?
but I'm saying, who created money?
Actually, that's a cool story. I'm not going to bring it up now because I don't know it fully, but
I don't either.
they used to trade tea.
I was counting on you to know this.
The dried tea, and
Yeah, you are.
the tea and the gold was too heavy to carry, and so they started creating paper notes to say this is worth this much gold because I can't carry a trailer
that
full of
makes
gold
sense.
with me.
Right.
And so they started trading paper, and then it was a trust thing. It was this whole.
But I guess
What if we go back to gold?
Oh, it is already. You see how many
Billionaires
people
would be
are.
like, you know what? I'm gonna have to give so much of this stuff away because it's too freaking heavy.
you can buy gold at Costco now.
Really?
Yeah. But more my question.
That's a cool thing. I didn't know that.
Thing. I want some gold.
Well, gold is all the rage right now. It's like
I know.
really high.
Yeah.
People
And
are
value still.
People are piling it on.
Yeah.
So I think that they're always
gold
worried
bars.
that this money situation is
I'm
going
gonna
to
get
become
some
a problem.
gold bars and hide
It's going to
them
become a
somewhere.
problem. But even gold, because really my question is, if we're saying all of this is inhuman or inhumane, really inhuman feels different than inhumane. It's non-human. But we are the ones that created all of
We
this.
weren't though. We didn't create this. We were like,
Who did?
we were tempted.
Humans.
No, billionaires created this. I mean,
Humans.
are they? Are they?
Are they?
Prove me.
Are they?
I want a billionaire to come out and prove to me they're human.
Yes.
We don't know what billionaires are. They hide behind all the
And a lizard.
I don't know about that,
Like
but I'm just saying
lizard.
they hide behind so many facades. Money is the protection in this culture. You have enough money, then no one gets in.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
you spin the news, you spin the stories, you spin the styles and the brands, you spin the commercials, you spin everything. If you have billions of dollars, you don't have to be a human. You just watch the measly humans down here.
What's the antidote then?
The antidote, I think there is a systematic change that we could,
Yeah.
if we had control of the algorithms. Like we can't control what's
I
shown.
think the algorithm needs to take a hike. I think
No, but that's the moneymaker. They're not going to give
I
that
know.
away.
And that's the sad truth of
The
it because
incentive
it's motivated
is-
by money. But here's the thing, and I said this on another show, it would be awesome if the algorithm was something you could opt out of. That if you could have your
You could have a
own
chronological
authentic-
timeline.
your
Yeah.
own
They used to have
authentic
that, remember?
journey
When they
where you could
first-
just whatever
you could
showed
change
up
it back
is
to
just what showed
chronological.
up.
Yes.
It could be content you liked or content you didn't like, but you were at least getting everything that was available as opposed to being channeled down this very, down this echo chamber,
Curated,
silo,
curated path.
Yeah.
That's the most
Now
bullshit
that would
word.
be a really cool thing if you could just say, I want the raw version of Instagram and Facebook and
Do you
TikTok.
think that'll ever come?
No,
No,
because
why
it's
would they do
motivated by
that?
money.
It is
It's-
motivated by money.
because they benefit from you seeing the content that reinforces all your ideals and the ads that reinforce your ideals. So you click on the right ad, and it's just all about the money. If you take money out of the equation, and
That's what I want to do.
I think money
How
is
does that change?
money is an evil. Like honestly, even with like, I will go on record as saying I think, and I'm sure I'm probably preaching to the choir. Politics should not be monetized. As long as you have money and motivation for money in politics, I don't think you're ever going to have a fully honest politician because they're going to have to play dirty in order to get even their own policies passed. They're going to have to do some dirty things And that's just in nature. Everybody thought Bernie was going to get in and be the super clean. I'm like, even Bernie, as much as you can love him,
Don't hate on Bernie.
I know.
he's
I'm
gonna
like, protect him.
but it's not Bernie. It's the system of which, so for instance,
well, but again, what's the antidote?
so let's say you come
out?
into just a
We
quick
try not to
analogy.
create an antidote. We just end this in depression and
Just
I know. I'm like,
misery.
I gotta bring it back.
we pass the mic to Dylan because she brings the hope.
Yeah, Dylan does
I
bring
try.
Calls us out.
But yeah,
I need it,
like,
Dylan.
you know, like you can't show up at a gun party with a knife. It's not going to work. So if you're
What
in
if you showed at a gun
politics,
party with no gun?
they're definitely not going to work.
You're gonna be dead?
Get shot. Yes,
You're
gonna
gonna be
get
dead.
You get shot up. Like that's the thing. And how do we change it? We actually have to, as a people, rise up and demand nothing less than pulling all the money out of politics, pulling the money out of media.
What if you
getting
what if you
media
pulled
to-
money out of everything?
Yes.
So Kate Rayworth wrote this book called Donut Economics. You should read this. It's killer. She talks about money as it was created is a flow of resources.
Yes.
That's what it was for.
Right.
When you created the ability to make money on money and people started hoarding it, it changed and it ruined the efficiency and the usage of money. So one of the things she pitches, and it's a very cool way to look at economics, we still work on like 100-year-old framed economics. All the economists right now are taught in school from things we learned 100 years ago, which is ridiculous in our world. So when you read about the way that things actually work and the way that the flow of money is what it's for. So imagine if billionaires had to spend their money. They couldn't hoard it in a bank account or in all their assets all over the world. They had to spend it. What if it devalued over time? What if the longer they held their money, it became worth less?
You brought
and less?
this up before, and
That's
I
what
love that idea.
She presents this idea. If every bill has a date on it, a goodbye date, and what
So you had to keep it in circulation. You couldn't hoard it.
It has to stay in circulation.
Yeah.
It has to be spent and used to move resources around.
Yeah.
Because there is
It
amount
has a
of
shelf life.
to hold money, the supply and demand issue, to hold it to make money on money interest and all this. Like the billionaires are loaning us money.
Yeah, they're not
buy
even
houses
spending
and
their
cars.
their principal.
No, they
They're
don't even
just-
pay taxes
They're
because they're
using the growth
using
to like.
right. They're using loans on top of the money.
Yeah.
So if the money devalued as they held it, and by the time if they held it for
They'd be
generations,
hot potatoing it
would
over to
be
somebody
zero.
else.
Right. They'd be moving it around, and the economy would start flowing.
See, I like it, but
Right.
Tim has put me in my cynical mindset.
Do
Uh-oh,
it.
bring it. What do you got?
Cynikize.
Well, I'm just gonna say that will never happen.
Right.
I'm
It's
telling you the same
unfortunate.
thing. Social media will never change because of this.
Yeah.
Because even though when they try to start like a people's social media or like a employed or like owned by the people type thing, it just doesn't work.
Yes, but this is what I've been trying to bring us back to. So we're coming back. Social media is always going to have these bad things about it because it's run by billionaires and, the controllers of society.
Influence.
And it's here to stay. And it's doing us no good to sit around hating it.
Mm-mm.
So
how can social media
I don't wanna be a hater.
be used to change the world for the better?
yes, that's what I want to bring it back to.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think
Big moment.
a big
This is-
moment.
You were on the spot.
I am really on the spot.
Everyone wait for it. Wait
No,
for it.
I think that social media.
Well, you have to put the Jeopardy like da na 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 na.
I'm hoping for a mic drop moment.
You take your mic off and just drop it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground. Social media, it's like anything else that I really think is going to be how things change. And unfortunately, I don't think it will be for everyone, but I hope it can be for as many people as possible. Like you were saying earlier, it has to come back to smaller groups. So it's using social media, and that's why I brought up small businesses and like how I see Cultivate's social media presence, how it's grown and how that's played into what we're doing over there. Is social media has really been used as a vehicle at Cultivate to bring that community closer together and be kind of this like visual or digital tapestry wasn't the word I was looking for, but like a community board where it's like I'm able to know what's happening. And so then I can come to these cool events, or it's like I feel closer to this community because I'm in on what's going on.
So
And
it's not just a show, it's like an interactive.
yeah. And I think more and more social media hopefully can become that, but it won't become that across the board. There's always going to be these big time influencers, these big time accounts that are kind of feeding this algorithm and like this make money, get rich quick scheme, because that's what
Works.
it's what works or what people want. And I do think there's enough of a common humanity left within most of us, I hope all of us, that we're still searching for human connection in everything and something to bring us closer together. And so how I see social media as us being able to look at the positive spots of it is we're using it for that. It's like, I don't think it's something that we can just ignore, because we won't get anywhere without ignoring it or using those tools. But how can we interact with it in a way that still brings us joy and makes it feel like it's something in alignment for us, rather than just like burying our heads in the sand and saying like, I hate that and it's evil and I'm not going to touch it, because
I
no
agree.
change comes from that.
I've been seeing some reels that they've been hijacking the algorithm and just saying, we are only going to show you good things, positive things. And they'll have a whole reel of things you might have missed in the news because they didn't get the clickbait. They weren't like it wasn't the item that's going to keep everybody afraid and upset and angry and fighting against, picking sides and fighting against sides. Like, it'll be something like some person received some really high honor for creating something for humanity, or somebody did some kind of thing with animals, like really positive stories. And so there's a couple of accounts I follow like that specifically because they hijack. And one, I don't think it's good for our nervous system to be constantly getting bad news and be constantly at odds. And I mean, I think it raises your blood pressure when you're constantly like in this state of like, I can't fix this. This is all jacked. And so
what if, this is an interesting idea, and it came out of what you were saying. What if you could decide or vow not to follow anyone that's not directly connected with someone you know that can vouch for them?
Ooh, I like that.
Like literally everyone who's disconnected from us, because what you're saying is true. In our communities, there is good, and we can see it with each other. It's these accounts that are coming from outside who are just trying to get the clicks and are trying to get us like all worked up,
riled up,
have nothing to do with us,
right?
That are getting us distracted and just off center. So what if there's like, I know Dylan, and Dylan knows this person.
Yeah.
So I can be connected to this person and trust through Dylan that this is a trusted network.
Yeah.
And so what if it was a setting on your network or whatever you're on, where you could just say trusted network, and it literally muted everyone that wasn't directly connected with someone that you set as a direct contact.
The only content you got was from trusted. So
that's how Hinge was created. Hinge used to be only people you had, used to have like mutual connections with.
Oh, interesting.
You know what? We talked about online dating on this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think, or the similarities between branding and online dating.
And how you like brand yourself.
Just kind of like how you present in the world and how you try and get a date.
Yeah. What about, so LinkedIn kind of is like that a little bit.
Mutual.
But it's not that you don't black out anything else, but the content you get usually is from like multiple degrees of connection.
Why do you think LinkedIn is one of the strongest
It's the strongest.
It died out for a long time. Instagram's like, Instagram. And then Zuckerberg bought Instagram and it tanked it. And LinkedIn rose.
Yeah, LinkedIn is definitely on the up for sure.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to push back.
Oh,
I'm coming around. I'm pushing back.
Oh, she's pushing
I'm
back.
pushing back.
All right.
Because I do think one of the other positives of social media is people that were born into a family, into a culture, into a community that they don't feel any alignment with. So I'm thinking like a queer teenager in small town Alabama. They're unlikely to have anyone in their community.
That's why it would be a setting you can choose. If you're truly cut
There you go.
off.
Yeah.
That's the fail.
I don't think you.
That's the fail
So
safe.
for me, I don't think you can create mass media based on a few sources. So that's like someone saying it's easy to make $1 million if lightning strikes. It's easy to. This person. So like if one person needs not to have gluten, do you make everyone live non-gluten?
Well, I'm not saying one. This is one example, but I think
not saying
that
it's
social media largely has done that for a lot of people.
Do you think? I think that's the narrative, but I don't. I'm trying to think of people that I know that use social media like that, and this gets back to our local communities. We can know from the people we know. I mean, not me. I'm not expecting me to know because I'm a white man. I know that's what you're thinking. But I did tell a story on the podcast once where I was in a youth group because I grew up as a Christian in a church, and I was in a youth group and we kept calling things gay. And a friend of mine who was in the youth group with us told us he was gay. And then it really hurt his feelings. That opened our eyes. It was such a moving, it was a beautiful experience. So I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying if you took a poll of all the people in your life, who have used social media in this way, what percentage is it? And maybe there's another solution that could solve it for the hurting community or the shut out community. But to open a gateway for the mass media and the controllers of the narrative, that's what we're talking about narrative here. There are ways of creating micro communities for those people where you really have connection and you're not seeing someone charading around as I'm transgender. Like maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And maybe they're pushing some narrative that someone who is actually transgender needs to be connected with someone in their surroundings to feel seen. Not like follow this weird over-characterized or caricaturized version of that, but someone in their life somehow connected. Like a connection is a connection because you feel connected by it. And I'm speaking too much on this subject because I am a white man and I know that that's a problem in my experience. But with all of our communities, there is a connection that needs to happen. Like we all need more connection.
100%.
I wish social media was at a place where just by using it, it made you feel and crave human connection more. And so you maybe used it to find your clan, and then you got together in person with your clan, with
I
your
was just
people.
having a talk with my good friend last night, and he says, I'm just a creeper. No, did he say creeper? I'm a lurker. He says, I'm a lurker. I just
He tells you he's a creeper. You need to report him.
Creeper's the wrong word. I think you said Jeeper Creepers before we came on, and that stuck in my brain.
A lurker.
He's a lurker. He's
a lurker, and
he just stalks
doesn't
his
want
friends
to
on
find
Facebook.
people he can get together with. He just wants to see what everyone's doing. And if you study, I did a project in college about voyeurism, which is an insanely deep-seated thing in our culture.
And social media really does allow people to do that.
Social media is all voyeuristic.
If you don't have your content locked down and you have your content only for friends, somebody could effectively go on and just kind of follow what you're doing in life and just
not only that, but AI can follow along and know a lot about you and profile you.
AI is the ultimate voyeur.
So voyeuristically, everyone is. We used to get villainized peeping toms, but everyone right now is a peeping tom. Everyone is voyeuristically looking at everyone else's life.
And think about it.
It's not a gateway to like some kind of physical connection.
No.
You are creating one, which I think is fantastic. Like if you're creating a community board, which localized, it has a community, people see what each other are doing, they get together. Awesome. That is the most killer implementation of social media I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I was going to say that's how I'd like to see social media being used. But think about it. When you learn of someone, what's the first thing you do? You probably don't do this. But if somebody put in a job application, or
you're gonna go look them up.
You're gonna go look them up on social media.
Have they said anything stupid?
You're gonna look them up on social media.
What do they believe? What politics do they subscribe to?
Yeah.
No, that's what
people do. Given us a whole other layer of human connection, and it's pretty crazy.
And then you add onto that some Black Mirror shit with like rating someone's social capital, someone's social abilities, and like what they can access and what they can't.
Yeah, I remember that episode where everybody had like a rating.
Yeah.
And every time they did something in public, their rating would come down.
And I've heard this actually is in practice in China right now.
Oh my gosh, that's
where
horrible.
If you get rated down, you can't go into certain places.
You can't go get on a flight. You can't like go into certain stores. Do you watch Black Mirror?
I do a little bit.
That episode is definitely worth watching because it kind of freaks you out a little bit when you think about the potential
All of it
us
freaks
going-
you out.
And all of it does. But some of it.
But it comes true.
I was
It's
gonna
the weirdest
say,
part.
the dogs, the like robotic dog episode when they had like machine guns, like I actually have already seen a reel of one of those robotic dogs that somebody had like
flip and do
it had a gun on it and it was like shooting
I don't know if I've
targets.
seen this one.
Yeah, they had this
So those
robotic
drones
dog.
you were talking about will actually be weaponized as well. Little guns on them.
That's
They
exactly
already
right.
are.
Wasn't this a Marvel
So they
movie
could
where they
shoot
took that
you.
little thing up in the air and they shot different people of power?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But this is like what's
Totally.
happening in like Iran and Ukraine right now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's like all this stuff that like gets washed down into our media. Some of it's got to be truth. Imagination can only take you so far.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And when you're in a lot of big rooms and you got a lot of people, secrets come up because it's already happening. My TikTok feed, I got off of TikTok about a month ago
Wow.
just because I got on like,
Going through withdrawals?
kind of, I'm itching a little bit. You can see in the back feed, I'm like scratching everything. I got off of TikTok, me and my partner did, because we were getting just like Iran drone footage. That was like, we were on the dark side of TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
We were talking like
It
it
would
was
be hard to
yeah. So it's all coming real. The thing for me when I watch Black Mirror and stuff like that is like people are imaginative, yes, but there has got to be a source of truth on some things that are being told.
Yeah, I was going to say, sadly, when I look at Black Mirror, it used to be like, wow, this is far-fetched, this is crazy, but now I was like, this could happen.
This could happen.
This is probably going to happen.
But
you
it's
know?
okay.
And
This
with
is
the-
probably already in
with the-
prototype right now.
And with the billions they're putting into AI and now quantum, you should see this thing that was it Microsoft? Someone just put $1 billion of their own money to fund this quantum computing chip factory.
Oh,
What
interesting.
is
So quantum
what is the
computing,
quantum computing?
it's okay. So normal digital technology that we experience today is based on a 0 and a 1.
Mm-hmm.
One being off and on. You can think of it off and on. And literally that is how bits work. Off and on, and that's how you control the computer. Quantum computing is based on quantum theory and quantum physics, where the 0 and 1 can both be 0 and 1.
Oh, so they can...
They can choose, and I can't even explain this with any justice. Just watch a quantum computing video, and they will try to hold this information in your brain. It almost doesn't actually work in your mind to think this, but it will open up the like 100x computing power. So something can be solved instantaneously.
Wow.
The biggest equations ever. You know, blockchain technology is one of the most secure technologies that's ever been created. Quantum computing can break it in like a few minutes. So you know how everyone's on this AI chase? They're like, AI is going to solve everything. That's why there's billions of dollars being poured into it, and there's no return on it. There's literally that no AI company has had a return that's profitable.
Which is
It's literally
unfortunate,
all debt.
because I watched a clip yesterday
shocking.
where they were talking about in Florida where they're putting all these data centers, and the data centers are actually sucking up so much of the fresh water because they use the fresh water to cool. They use this evaporative cooling method to keep the chips cool. Otherwise, they would just burn up instantaneously because the amount of data that they're processing. And so they were saying that it's not sustainable.
No.
That a data center uses up the same amount of water per year
electricity.
as like 60,000 to 100,000 homes. And now the people that live in these homes are having to do things like they can't water their cars at certain times. They can't water their lawns.
This is only the beginning.
So
You've
they
not heard of
can't-
this? Like when you use one prompt, they say it's like throwing a bottle of water out the window.
Yeah, so
Or more. It
unfortunately-
could be more. I think I'm just
And
trying
so now they have data centers going in all over the place, and yet it's for a technology that isn't even profitable. That's really sad. People are losing,
But they see the
their
power.
values of their homes are going down in Florida specifically because of these data centers.
Why do you think Elon wants to put a data center in space?
Oh my God. I would
Which
rather
is cooled
one
by space air. Or it's not air, but space.
Do we think this is what the Industrial Revolution felt like?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it was
But
amped
like-
up energy levels.
But maybe even worse?
Worse conditions of work. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
don't
I
know.
don't know,
I think-
actually.
Or like
mean,
scarier than the
No,
Industrial
this is way
Revolution?
more scarier because of the scale.
But we
of-
weren't alive, so how do we know?
Yeah,
True.
I wasn't.
But all the
I'm not
people-
that old.
I was about to be like, I was thinking, I was like,
Industrial Revolution?
Don't you
How
dare
are
look
you?
at me.
How was the Industrial Revolution, Reggie?
They still had black and white pictures.
Well, I saw Sherlock Holmes, and it looked really cool.
How was it when Jesus walked the earth, Reggie? Were you guys on Facebook together?
I would say
picture.
that it seems from the movies, it didn't seem like it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
people got pulled out of the suburban, or not, it wasn't even suburban, it was just the countryside to work in these
Yeah.
factories.
Yeah.
But now imagine you have in a couple years, they're predicting the job market will be at like an 80 to 90% job unemployment rate. So now imagine,
that?
yes,
how are we?
exactly. What are we going to do?
What are we
They're
gonna
going to put us humans in the place that AI can't do it,
Yeah.
which is anywhere there's not
Physical
screens.
labor.
Yeah, until they get robots, physical
be.
labor is the thing. Like if you do
We're all gonna
something
be
that is
construction workers.
right, if anything that can be done in the real world, which is like
Yeah.
factory work, until they get the robots, I think the robots are going to be here before
robots,
we're put into
yeah.
that kind of place.
Robots can do factory, but can they do construction?
I mean, there are some
Can they
that are
build a
getting
house?
there.
There are some.
I think in years to
build a
come
house
they
and
will
live?
be, but I think the most instant result is going to be what happens. What is the solution? Is there an income that everyone gets because now our information is what it was
Universal
trained on?
basic income.
Like
Yeah.
social media is what's training a lot of these.
Yeah.
these
I mean, imagine
bodies
if we
of-
all just got like a stipend every month that would sustain us, and so we didn't really care as much.
Right. So I think money is going to be a hot topic because how do you value life when you no longer have a job?
The value of money is going to go down if nobody can spend it.
And no one can spend it or make it.
Yeah, if you can't make it and you don't have it.
But there has to be a way, like even billionaires need a populace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else what's the point? It's
What's
like,
the point?
I'm just going to
Yeah.
sit in this tower and just
Yeah.
live in.
I don't know, man. This is giving me
End of the
like
world.
Wall-E vibes, man. Remember all the people just
Oh
sitting
yeah.
around? They lost their bone structure.
So
'cause
what
they
is
were
the
just
value? What is the value of life? And I think that this is where capitalism bites us in the ass: is that we have made the value of life what you do
Yeah.
instead of the value of who you are.
Yeah. How
When
you
you're
show up in
paid
the world.
and valued, like you said this earlier about social media. I was posting pictures that I liked, and I realized that people didn't like those, and so I started posting really beautiful pictures.
Yeah,
because
right.
people started liking those. So when people start teaching you through capitalism and incentive that what you do, we brought this topic up, but there are people who have been trained to do things that are not good for them, like mukbang videos and some weird stuff, because people like it. And so it like trains them to do this stuff that's not them.
I
So they're-
actually listened to that part of that episode.
and it's so dark that that is how we're being moved because of this incentive trying to make money.
Yeah.
So now how do you teach and revalue life
I mean,
when
but
it's not about
that's-
what you do?
That's human nature, though. That's not just capitalism.
Yeah, they feed
I
on
mean,
human
that
nature.
is-
They're not
Yeah.
doing
It's
this.
human
They're not
nature. They've
making this stuff
exploited
up.
this-
They've exploited it.
They
Yeah.
exploited
it's
the
not like
nature
it's-
of the human nature to be liked and to want to be liked,
Yeah.
especially when you see reels of people doing ridiculously embarrassing things because they think they're going to get
Yeah.
likes from it.
It's
They're like-
exploitation of human nature.
Yeah,
Exploitation,
it's
yeah.
exact. Yeah, I mean, it's the
I mean,
same
it's exploitation
middle
of-
school
of-
ideology. Is like if I do something, they're going to like me. I want to fit in,
Or they're
I
gonna
want
make
these
fun of
people to
me.
like or they're going to make fun of me if I don't do it. Yeah, so it's
And it's exploitation all around. I mean, if the system is built to where you punish someone for doing something wrong, like get them canceled,
right,
or you give them benefits if you do something right,
and they go viral,
move
and all
in
of a
the right
sudden-
direction. How do you
yeah,
line
like, oh, I'm
people
gonna
up in
do
the right
more of
line?
this, and now that's who they become.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think I saw a post the other day of this woman who's a ballet dancer, but apparently she didn't have a massive following in ballet. And she had in her caption, she was doing this she was doing the Dougie. She was doing this hip hop dance. And in the caption it says, "This is who I am now." And she's doing this like hip hop dance instead of her ballet. But it was actually really beautiful because she had found a way to like mix ballet in with this hip hop dance.
And what if
I
that
like,
was who
it
she
was pretty
was?
badass. And maybe it's not about whether it is or not who she is.
Yeah.
It's whether it is or not who she wants to be.
Yes.
And I think that is the question. But if it is, more power to her. But she obviously had to make a shift because she wanted to pivot into something that more people would find joy in. But I love ballet too.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I do believe in the resilience of humanity, and I believe in the good. And I
so
believe in
naive.
truth.
Bringing it
He's
back.
so naive.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because
kidding.
I come at things with a little bit of,
With a pitchfork.
no, it's not pitchfork. It's just, I don't easily just take things on. I really
Right. He
digest,
pushes it. Yeah.
push it.
Yeah.
But it's not because I want to be a hater. It's because I think there's a better way.
Yeah.
But what you just said about
Especially if
like maybe
there's
that is who
friction.
they are. There is a place where we are pushed through suffering and pain to become,
Yeah.
to like evolve, to change.
Right.
And the things that we're enduring now, though we want them to stop and we want things to get easier, life keeps giving us this nudge into the truth within us, not like some weird religious thing, but the truth that's built in us. Like, how do we be more ourselves?
So
How do
what
we
if-
see more who we are through others and through ourselves? So I think that the suffering we're experiencing is not accidental. And it's not, I don't even think it's controlled by them, even though I've said that blatantly. I'm trying to like, I think when you just process verbally, you do say things and then you're like, wait a minute, I don't
And then
really.
you think about
really
it.
mean
Yeah,
that.
you're allowed to change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think they are having their heyday right now, making a ton of money on us, but I think we will rise.
What if, on our path to that, the way we get there is that we as people take inventory of who we are in the moment and test that against who we are at our core, like what feels good. Like, I think if we all just took inventory of, just look in the mirror and be like, this is who I am, this is who I'm presenting myself as, how does that feel? Does this feel authentic? Does this feel like me? What resonates, what doesn't? And then throw away what doesn't and hold on to what does. And then maybe we start to live more authentically into our true selves.
I think we need time
We need
to do
time.
that. That again, to get back into capitalism, is
You don't have time.
Yeah,
takes away our
Time is
time.
money.
Don't even get me. Okay,
To
set
do
the
those
timer another
types of
hour. We need to
things.
talk
Another
about
hour.
We need to talk.
Right, you're right. We're pushed for time, we're pushed for money, we're pushed for resources, we're pushed for energy drain. Like we just feel so drained.
Yeah,
And
but I
it's
think
all part of the thing that's happening to us.
something I'm working on in my personal life, and I don't think it's unique, is like the idea of rebuilding a village and relying on other people again in your community. It's the whole thing of like,
like
you
that.
used to ask your friends to drive you to the airport or watch your dog for you, and now it's like, oh, I'll take an Uber, or like I have to pay my friend like all this money to watch my animal. But it's like, we used to just do those things for each other.
It wasn't monetized.
It wasn't
wasn't monetized.
monetized. And it's like you were inconvenienced, but that I saw on Instagram this thing the other day. It was like, inconvenience is the price you pay for community.
Ooh.
So it's like, that's a way that I think we all could ultimately have more time, is building more community.
What if we
It's
just
like
go
we-
back to the barter system?
we
where
can't
it's
do
like
it all
instead of
ourselves.
using cash, we just like, hey, I need my deck repainted and it looks like you need some plumbing. How about we just trade off?
No, but
Yeah,
the
we
thing
just
about, you know
barter.
why that changed?
Yeah.
Small business. Optimizing and monetizing every little thing. When you want to start a business, or like, just think about something you do on a
Yeah.
daily
Yeah.
basis,
Right.
and then charge someone for that.
Charge someone.
So like that is the mentality now, charge for everything. And I will
Do
even
the thing
say,
you love and the money will come. Kind of.
I would even say, don't tell your kids when they're doing something, we'll sometimes jump to, oh, you could make a business out of that. Don't do that, because
Right.
when you take intrinsic value and make it extrinsically valuable,
Yeah.
it loses your intrinsic value.
true.
Yeah.
So we
because
used
now
to
it's
take
all
care
about
of each
the money.
other. We used to watch each other's kids, watch each other's pets,
Yeah.
Yep.
get the mail, drop it off. Like there were things we
yeah.
didn't have to actually pay someone to do every single little thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Rebuild the village.
Let's go back to that.
Rebuild the village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rebuild the
I think
village.
there's like, people are starting to talk about it
like
because
it.
I think it's becoming necessitated.
It's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
When AI takes all the jobs, we're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to grow our
then we're
own
gonna have our pitchforks.
food. Yeah. Truly.
We'll be using them to grow our own food, which we should be doing anyway. In the grand scheme of
I would
things.
love that.
Well, this was an interesting conversation. I think it went some places that I thought it was going to go, and some places that I didn't.
Yeah.
But
I appreciate-
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Laura.
for having me.
It was nice. It was
Awesome.
really
Yeah.
nice having your point of view in this
Yeah, it
conversation.
was
Yeah.
great to be here.
It was a perfect topic. Thanks for joining us. And if you have any ideas about social media and stuff that you don't think we talked about on it, we'd love to see you plug our comments. Like, to put some stuff down there that
And if you're mad at anything we said, tell us that too, because we
If you're mad at anything Tim
Don't
said,
want to
please tell us in
offend.
the comments. And with that, we bid you adieu. Bye, guys.
Bye. Hey.
And we're off.
And we're off.
Thanks for listening. This podcast was created and developed by our hosts, Reggie Tidwell, Tim Scroggs, Mary Greene, and Dylan Garcia. Special thanks to our guest host, Lauren Moody. Produced by Mary Greene. Live production and editing by me, Will Canady. Graphic design by Dylan Garcia. And set design by Megan Scroggs. Today's episode is presented lovingly by 40 Hearts, creators of enduring value.